Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial. In this part, we are learning about creating Meesho Orders Exploratory Data Analysis Dashboard, and we got the data from kaggle.com from this particular URL, which I will share with you. And in the data, we have information of orders uh, received in a particular month or a couple of months, and here you can see the total revenue, count of orders, GST contributions, average order value, total shipping charges, total price that is there. So initial price and price with shipping charges, etc. We have different type of order status. The graph is interactive. So on the basis of different type of order status, you will be able to see from where we have received the orders. This is total revenue by state. So either you can show it as a map chart or you can show it in a regular bar chart. How to use this type of gradient based on numerical value. The filter that we are using here is order date. So everything you will learn in this particular tutorial. So let's get started. So the data set that is used in this particular project is Meesho order data from this Kaggle URL you can download. And in the data, it contains September month order data from a particular year, and this is reason for credit entry. RTO complete, that is return to origin product. Some case address is wrong, so Meesho can return a product, it's called RTO. Delivered product, delivered to customer, cancel, shipped, ready to ship, pending, RTO initiated, shipment that has been just marked RTO logged, etc. Then we have sub order number, order date, customer state, product name, SKU, size, quantity, supplied list price. So this is the data set where you can see order date, sub order number. This is the order status where you can see the different type of status. It's a categorical column. Then state from which the order was made, pin code, GST amount, the price on Meesho, shipping charge total, and this is final price, which seems to be addition of this and this amount. So except for GST. So this is something that you can see here. Now we will simply drag this data in our BI tool and we will try to analyze it. Now in order to analyze the data and create dashboard, we will use Power BI. So in Power BI, the first thing is to load the data. So we will get the data using the text CSV connector. From here, we will load the data set. On the data load window, just make sure every column is mapped properly. If you are seeing column 1 here, then in that case, we have to go to transform data. Otherwise, we will simply load it. Now, this is loading. So we will simply rename this to data so that if we have to create any kind of DAX queries or DAX measures or columns, so it will be useful for us to refer to this table. Now we will simply go to view tab. In view tab you can select any particular palette for you. Let's say we have selected this palette. So now in this palette we can create different type of charts. The first chart or first thing that we do is insert text, and since we'll be performing exploratory data analysis, so we will simply write the title here. So you can write any title and style it. Now once you have created any kind of title here, so what we can simply do, we can align it to center and choose a size and make it bold so that it appears properly here. So now this is online orders exploratory data analysis dashboard, or if you want to provide any particular name you can provide it here. And here in your text box in FX we can also enable a simple shadow. Now it is created. Whenever you get a data set like this, it is always good to create some kind of KPIs. KPIs will be how many total orders have we received, what we we have price here, right? In every order you can see we have price here. So what is the total price that we have received? Okay, and what is the total GST amount on these orders? This is, and what is the shipping, total shipping charges, etc. You can create in KPIs. So to create those kind of KPIs, first we will add a card here, and you can adjust the width and height of your card accordingly. And here you can drag some fields, for example total price. Okay, and this is sum of price. So first of all we can go here, and in call out value we can use a font size of around 38. So this is sum of price. And now what we can do here, we can simply call it total revenue or revenue, and we can go into the format visual option, and here we can enable a simple shadow here. That is totally optional. If you want you can do that, and we will make some copies out of it. So for example, let's say we have to show total number of orders. So you can see here the sub order number is the unique value for each order here, and or the unique sub order number can be dragged here. So for that we can drag this field, and we can use count distinct, and we will rename it as count of orders. Similarly we have revenue, so we will also find out total GST received. So for that we will click here, remove it, and when we will track GST amount we will use sum, and we will call it GST contributions or whatever you want to call it. Now we will again make a copy of this KPI, and here we will try to find average order value. So to find out average order value, we will use the price once again, but this time we will just use average. So you can see if we go row wise, the average of price is 1.36k, and we will simply call it average order value. And similarly we can also find out the total shipping charges. Okay, so we will simply bring it here and use sum and call it total shipping charges. This way you can create simple KPIs here, and whatever you want to receive, like we also have this price, and we also have the total price. So you can also find out the total Meesho price here. So we can use it here, because as per the data set it is given. So we will simply rename as total Meesho price. Now you can see the difference clearly between the revenue price and total this price. Now we have these things. Now we will create some other charts. So first of all we have all the KPIs that we need here. Now we have different type of order status. So you can see shipped, RTO, delivered, cancelled. So it will be good to see, you know, total counts of these status. So for that we can create a simple stacked column chart here. And obviously we are not going to use two measures. So we will just use one on x-axis. So you can use order status on x-axis, and then on y-axis you can find out count of suborder ID. So here you have the data, and this is count of suborder whatever is written. So this is basically, you can go to title and write count of orders by status. Okay, and here you can, if you want, in the title you can make the title style bold, align it to center, and in your FX portion you can also enable some kind of shadow. So this is count of orders by status. In format you have option to select a different kind of color for your visual. So for example, if you want to use a darker color or a lighter color, that is something that you can use here, whatever is your choice. Okay, so let's select this color here just to see. And here you can see most of the orders in this particular month are delivered orders, which is 50, returned are 34, shipped are 26, RTO 22, cancelled 4, and exchanging 2. As per the dataset description, RTO is returned to origin product. Some cases address is wrong or etc. So this is the status. Now we also have different order dates. Since this is data of a particular month or couple of months. So here, if you will create a line chart, let us see. So first of all, in a line chart, whenever we are seeing date versus a numerical value like sales or price or anything, so a line chart is preferred. And here, the first thing that we are going to do, let's bring the date here. Okay, so let's bring order date on x-axis, and let's say order date wise revenue, so price on y-axis, and it will show sum of price because there is only one year. So if we remove year, it will show only one quarter because the data is of one quarter only. Now you can see if you drill it by month, there are 2 months. If we click here and increase, this is by day. Okay, so now this is the value that you can see, sum of price by day. If you want to remove month from here, you can remove, or if you want to see monthly, then you have option to use these arrows to just increase or decrease the lowest or highest level of data. And this is sum of price by day, it is showing that. So we can simply call it something like revenue per day. Okay, and here also in the visual chart we can go into lines, and in line you will have a color, so we can select a particular color. So this is revenue by day, and in our chart we can go to use and shade area. Okay, and in general we can go to effect and enable a shadow. So this way it will look just like our previous graphs. And one more thing is remaining, we will enable the title, align it in center. Obviously it was enabled, but we will use like this. So this is revenue by day. Now whenever you have a categorical value, so for example this is the categorical field, right, like order status. So if you have a categorical field like that, what you can do, you can bring that in legend section in a line chart also. So for example, there are 6 different type of order status. So you will be able to see 6 different lines, right? You can see here every color is representing that. Obviously, it is very hard to visualize it. When we will select any one of them, we will be able to see like exchange or return. Or if it is not happening, then in that case, we have to use it as a filter. But this is optional. If you want to do it, you can see like that. One more thing, in such cases, if you want to see it in a proper way, we will also use the stacked area chart. Okay, so every order value will be stacked on top of each other. So that is something that you can do easily. And this is now our chart. One better way of doing that will be, because this chart will be interactive. So this is delivered performance of delivered orders per day, returned orders per day, revenue per day, etc. Now there is one more thing. Let's say we want to show this, obviously this is revenue per day, right? We also want to show total number of orders received per day versus revenue. Okay. So we can also use line and stacked column chart. So here in column Y, sum of price will be there. First of all, we will take it to line chart like sum of price, and here in column Y axis we will drag count of orders. Okay, so now we have count of orders, so we will simply rename is at count of orders. So you will have two different axes here. In one axis you have count of orders, and in second axis you have sum of price or revenue. Okay, so this way you will have your data. And obviously, since we have enabled the shaded area, it is appearing like this. In this case, you can disable the shaded area as well, and you will be seeing revenue per day like this. This is very important, and this way you can show two different numerical values in one chart, right? Now we also have the Meesho price here. So let's say we want to compare both of them. So in line Y axis, we can again bring that price also. Obviously, it will be almost parallel to it because the difference is very less. Okay, only tax and shipping charges are added there. But this way you will be able to see that as well. It's just something that you can bring. I'm just showing that if you have to compare these values properly, you can use that. And in your secondary y-axis you have grid lines, etc., right? We have colors. So for example, for this Meesho price, let's say we want to choose a different type of color, let's say a reddish color. Okay, so you can select that as well. So this way you have revenue per day. Now let's say we want to use some filters. Okay, we want to use order status as a filter, so we can bring a slicer here. So in this section we can bring a slicer, and in the slicer we will drag order status first of all, and this will show us order status wise data. So first of all we will use a proper name for it, order status. Obviously I could have easily edited it. So this is showing order status. In our values we can use a different type of font color as per our theme color that we have selected. In slicer header also we can use a dark font color, not visible, so we will use a lighter color, and we can make the values bold so that it is visible properly. In values also we will use a bold font. So let's say you want to see exchange, you can see return, you can see RTO, cancel, etc., you can see them. Here also we can go to visual setting, and in visual we can enable same kind of effect like a shadow here. Now one more thing which is very important is to see state wise number of orders or state wise data. Okay, to show state wise data we can use a field map also. First let's try the field map. So here you can see in location obviously we have to bring the state name, and in legend we have to bring the value, and we have different type of data settings here. So for example, in legend we bring price or something. For example, let's bring price. So you can see different type of prices are being shown by different type of states. Okay, this is one way to show the data. Now if you go to format setting, here we have fill colors. For different type of states we have different type of color. In legend also we have top, left, right, etc. These type of options are there. What if we say instead of legend we will drag the data to tooltip? Okay, what if we drag the data of price to tooltip? Obviously you will just see one value here, and here you will see sum of price, which when you will drag the mouse then you will see. But here now in fill color you will see FX. Okay, and here by default a blue color will be fixed. Here in format style we will select gradient, and we will say from data select price. If sum of price has a lowest value, show lightest color of blue. So let's say we can also show, a dark red color. In case of highest value, we can also show a dark green color. Let's click OK. Now you will be able to see gradient wise data. Okay. For example, state Seoni is given. First, we have to make some changes also, like some name of states may be wrong here, but maybe spelled wrong. But most of the states like Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, etc., are appearing properly here. And this way, on the basis of dark color, you will be able to see which state has higher value of price or revenue, or which state has lower. All the states which you are seeing here in light red shade are those states. And here, if you want, you can remove conditional formatting. If you want, you can enable from blue to blue or green to green, those kind of colors also. Let's say from light green to dark green. So this way you can use a single color to show these values as well. And we can rename it as revenue by state as well. And we can simply copy the format style and paste it here, and then use the color formatting as we used. Now if you also want to show it in a column chart, so you can also show the same thing in a column chart. So for here, for example, here first of all we'll copy the format painter style. So after copying the style, in x-axis you can select the state name, and on y-axis you can select price here. Okay, so this is sum of price by state, and here also we can color same. For our columns we can use the same kind of color. You can select the gradient styling here also, like for example in gradient style, state with lower value will have this color and higher value will have this color. So this way you will be able to see. So whatever is your preferred way of showing data, you can select. Here for example there are some cases, let's say in a state name, let's say we have to find. So here you can see first of all, like UP is given, State Bank of India is given. Okay, so State Bank of India may be written incorrectly, that we can inquire and replace. I am just showing you how to replace a value. So just replace value to find UP, and replace it with Uttar Pradesh. So this way, wherever only UP is written, it will be changed, and then you can close and apply. Similarly, you can find other values and replace them. One more thing that we can do, which will be an important filter for us, that will be the date filter. So if we drag a simple slicer here, and in slicer we drag the order date, so as a field, so you will be able to see a calendar like this. Okay, and here also we can enable a simple effect. So in the effect we can enable a shadow, so that people will be able to see. So from here we can select the start date, let's say from 29 to, let's say, 3. So this way you will be able to see the values within particular dates as well. So this is a simple way how you can create this simple interactive dashboard.